My dear friend in Christ, have you ever asked this question, why should a good God allow suffering? Why should a good God allow suffering? Now that's an eternal question that has been rattling the human mind for centuries. Yet, there are so many incidents in our own lives appearing bad but turn out to what we ourselves sometimes like to call a blessing in disguise. In some ways, it does answer that eternal question. Here's a story I'd like to share with you. A king enjoyed the company and the wisdom of Jewish rabbis as much as he loved his forest jaunts. As a treat, one day he took a rabbi with him into the forest and encouraged him to try his shooting skills. Now the rabbi said, "Sire, I'm only a rabbi. I haven't held a rifle all my life." But after much prodding, the rabbi then took the rifle into his hands and he walked a few furlongs into the forest. The rabbi then pulled the trigger and he suddenly heard a scream. You know what he did? He accidentally shot the king's arm, and the king's respect turned into anger, into rage, and he had the rabbi thrown into the darkest dungeon. Now with a wounded arm, this adventurous and bold king ventured once again into the forest. But this time danger struck. Cannibals captured him. His soldiers out of fear escaped, and he was all alone there to be eaten. But the cannibal chief screamed aloud, and he said, "Look, we have a very bad omen. This creature's body is wounded. Let go, lest evil come upon all of us." Now the king headed straight to the rabbi in the dungeon, saying, "Holy rabbi, if you didn't shoot me, I wouldn't be alive." And then he elevated the rabbi to the highest ranks of advisors. But the rabbi replied, "Thank you, sire. I would have been eaten by those cannibals if you didn't throw me in this dark, dingy dungeon." My dear friend in Christ, when you truly love God, good things happen somewhere to someone, even when you can't understand, when you can't comprehend divine providence. Take this sample. You pray for the rains to cease, but a poor farmer somewhere is praying for rains. You pray for relief from the scorching sun, but the farmer prays for sun to dry his grain. You pray for a salary raise, but a youngster somewhere is praying for some employment. You pray for a better house, but refugees are praying somewhere for a land to call their own. Though mysterious, God's ways always serve a loving purpose. The Gospel of Matthew chapter 5 verse 45 reads, "For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust." And the letter to the Romans chapter 8 verse 28 reads, "All things work together for good for those who love God." So, with real faith and trust in God, you can always count your blessings in disguise and see a purpose in everything that happens in your life. May you have a good and godly day.